Hey guys, it's me, 50, and welcome to another episode of 50's Thoughts to Show, where I talk about my thoughts and opinions and things that matter to me for that week. Today's episode is another Batman episode, so hopefully you guys will enjoy it. If you do, make sure you leave a like. If you don't like it, make sure you leave a sympathy like, because I appreciate that. If you care to favorite the video, by all means, go ahead and do it. And if you share the video with your friends, that is amazing. So, without further ado, let's jump into the newest Batman video. So we have two topics to cover today. The first topic is the rating. I know we already went over it, but they let out some more details on it. So today we're going to be talking about that. And then they announced that we will be having DLC, Batmobile skins, and character skins. And as you guys know, they have the Harley Quinn and Red Hood pack. So we're going to be kind of talking about those as well, and what my hopes are for the DLC and what the DLC kind of brings into everything. So that's what today's episode's topics are. So let's just kind of jump into the rating and talk about why this game is actually rated M. Not just my my idea of what the game was rated M for. So initially, my thoughts when they announced that Batman was going to be rated M was they're going to intensify blood in certain scenes, and then they were going to increase the language during intense moments. So those were my initial thoughts, and they just released the rating summary, why Batman Arkham Knight is actually rated M. So I am going to kind of summarize it a little bit. Some of it I will just be reading off of this BatmanNews.com article, again in the description down below if you want to read the full thing. But yeah, I'm just gonna start reading, and then there's gonna be some things I'm gonna kind of summarize and things like that. So the beginning of it is kind of self-explanatory, right? It's the Batman game that we know and love. So this is the part where it kind of gets into it. Players engage in melee-style combat using punches, kicks, gadgets, and enemies cry out in pain when struck, and some takedowns are highlighted by brief slow-motion effects and loud impact sound effects. Okay, the thing that sounds different there, I know it doesn't sound too different, is the cries in pain and the impact sounds. Before, we didn't have that many. They would just do the ooh. But if they're actually screaming in pain, I feel like that would be what boosted the game up to rated M a little bit. And also, too, the loud impacts would kind of imply that as well. Another thing, too, that people were pointing out to me, actually on the Facebook page, I was getting it in messages. People are like, well, 50, if there's too many blows to the head, that could give it a rated M rating. And I didn't understand that at first, but now I kind of see, yeah, that could make it rated M. So it doesn't say that in this article, but I do believe that there will be more kind of head hits in the game, knowing some of the transactions that kind of go down. Some sequences allow players to use tank-like vehicles. Correction, it's just the Batmobile. With machine gun turrets and rockets to shoot enemies. Again, they're not really machine guns. They're non-lethal guns, unless if they're going up against other vehicles. A vehicle's wheels are also used in a torture, or are also used to torture an enemy in one sequence. So that one kind of stuck out to me before, and I was like, oh, what do you mean it's being used in a torture sequence? And I know this is going to sound kind of weird, but just bear with me real quick. Think about it, right? Batman had, let's say it's like the Riddler interrogations, from Arkham City, but it's only one of them, right? It's only one kind of interrogation, but you have to go across the city, find this one guy, and then you use the Batmobile to interrogate him. And Batman's like, "Where is he?" I don't know. I don't know. I swear to God, I don't know. Batmobile's, lights pop up. Oh God, no. I swear to God, I don't know. You're going to answer me. I swear, I don't know. Batman knocks him to the ground, and then he like revs up the Batmobile engine. No, I swear, I do not know anything. You're going to tell me. I know you're lying. And then you kind of see the Batmobile edge towards the guy. No. Okay, you want me to talk? I'll talk, but please back up the Batmobile. Please, no, not the Batmobile. Starts running over his feet. No. Ah! And then kind of continues that way until, he gets what he wants. That, I feel like, would be kind of cool. Very cruel, and probably would give it the M rating. But, yeah, if that's what gave it the M rating, I gotta admit, it is pretty dark. But, hey, Batman does what it works, and as long as he's not dead, I guess it works. Cutscenes depict characters getting shot on and off character while restrained or unarmed. That can lead to the M rating. And that one's kind of self-explanatory, and I didn't think about that in my initial video, but you don't want teenage kids seeing that. And then this is the part that I pointed out in my initial thoughts video. Large bloodstains, pools of blood appear in crime scenes, and in the aftermath of violent acts, one room depicts a person torture a character on a bloody operating table. And during the course of the game, players can shoot unarmed characters and a hostage. With that, that last sentence, right? That during the course of the game, players can shoot unarmed characters and a hostage. That, I feel, is either the Red Hood map, the Harley map, or they're thinking of a totally different game because Batman doesn't shoot people. I get it, in the earlier versions of the comics, Batman did use a gun and things like that, but I don't think they're gonna throw that into this game, and it would be really weird, right? I see that more as a Jason Todd and a Harley Quinn type thing. So this may, if we're going off of this sentence, it may sound like, oh, Red Hood's gonna be able to walk around the open world, or Harley Quinn's gonna be able to walk around the open world, kind of like what you could do with the Catwoman DLC from Arkham City. If that's the case, that's gonna be pretty cool. If not, then I'm not sure what that line is trying to say, right? If Batman's gonna use a gun, I don't think it would be this point in time. So that sentence is just throwing me off on, what's being said here. And then there's the references to, strip clubs and swearing and stuff like that in dialogue. And then that's pretty much it, right? So torture is in there. That kind of threw it off. Some of the fighting, and definitely the blood. I'm surprised that the language isn't heightened as much, and I totally understand, that they didn't want to heighten that. It just seems usually when you get the M rating, that's one of the major reasons why. That and the blood. So that's kind of interesting to kind of see everything kind of point out. And the article says that the most likely thing is the torture, and the kind of strip club references kind of impacted that. So that's kind of the gist of it. It's not too much news, but it does give us a better idea of what the game is rated M for. Now, the question comes down to, should kids be playing this now, right? Should they be doing that? I want to say no, right? kids should not be playing this game with that content known to me now, right? I thought before, oh yeah, it's gonna be okay, but with some of the torture stuff and some of the like the shooting unarmed characters and a hostage thing, I don't think that this is a good game for kids. Before, like I said, with like Arkham Origins, Arkham City, Arkham Knight, even though I don't really or not Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum, and even though I don't consider Arkham Origins part of the main Arkham games, you kind of can say, oh, a kid can sit down and watch gameplay of this, of any age, right? Because it's Batman. It's totally okay. But this, I think it would have to be limited to challenge maps in order for kids to play it. And even then, you're not sure if it's going to be that great for kids. Does this turn me off from the game? No. Have I seen stuff like this in games before? Yeah. Should I have? Probably not. But it doesn't really matter for kids my age, who are about to become adults and things like that. But when you're showing these games off to, young children, or like, and when I say young, I don't mean like, oh, a 3-year-old is playing this, right? I'm talking like late elementary school, middle school kids. I don't feel like they should be playing this game because of this rating and things like that. I feel like it would screw them up more than, do them good. Will they probably play it anyways? Yeah, I get that, but if you are watching this video and you are within that age range, just know that, I do believe some games are off limit for your age, and rated M does not mean your mommy bought it for you. It means that it's meant for a mature audience. And the second part of today's video is actually something that I've noticed. Batman Arkham News on Facebook kind of pointed this out, and this site that I'm looking at is in German, so I had to translate it. And if you look at the Batman Arkham Knight Special Edition Steelbook on Amazon, I'm not sure if you have to look at the German Amazon. But you kind of look at it, right? And it says contents of the special edition Steelbook. The Steelbook, an exclusive Batman skin, Scarecrow pack only for PlayStation 4, and the prototype Batmobile DLC. Okay, let's think about that real quick. We are getting Batmobile DLC, people. You know how cool that is? Right? We get Batmobile DLC. We get to customize the Batmobile to look like different Batmobiles throughout history. We could be getting, and this is my thoughts and of what we will be getting, we'll get the prototype Batmobile. I feel like that's its own Batmobile, right? What they kind of thought the Batmobile would look like and what they wanted it to look like before they kind of had to redo it. And maybe that's the Batmobile that we saw in Arkham Asylum, right? So I feel like we may get that one for the prototype Batmobile pack. It could be something that we haven't seen before, too. You got to think of it that way. So we'll be getting that. And does that mean we'll be getting more Batmobile DLC with certain packs and stuff? Like the skins DLC, pretty much. Like when you got Nightwing, he had his own character skins. When you got Robin, he had his own skins. When you got Catwoman, she got her own skins. Will we be getting more stuff like that throughout these DLC packs? So, like, maybe the first DLC pack will get kind of, which I hope they do this, they bring in movie skins, right? The first pack maybe will be let's say 3 comic book skins, 1 movie skin, and then 2 Batmobile skins. 1 from the movie, and 1 from, one of those 3 comic books. I really want to see Burton's Batmobile. I really want to see the 1960s Batmobile. I know I mentioned earlier that torture sequence. Imagine that with a 60s Batmobile, right? How freaking funny would that be? And how cool would it be to actually drive around in the 60s Batmobile? I know they did the 60s Batman in Arkham Origins, but think about it. That would be pretty cool if we could drive around in the 60s Batmobile. And if you got to drive around in the Tumbler, oh my gosh, that's a dream come true. I'm honestly looking forward to the DLC here, right? We've had one Green Lantern skin throughout each of the games, even Arkham Origins, right? We've had the animated series skins. We've had just a ton of them from the comics. And we haven't had anything from the movies yet. So I feel like a lot of the DLC will be based off of the movies. Well, I hope that it's just limited, though, to Burton and Nolan. And that they don't really include the Schumacher Batman skins. Because, come on, Bat Nibbles, really? But I have to admit, they did have pretty cool looking Batmobiles in the last two films. And that's because of, them wanting the money for, the toys and things like that. But just like how I like to forget about Arkham Origins, being canon, we kind of forget that those two were part of the Burton verse, and just go, yeah, they were their kind of standalone type thing that was based off of the original. Yep, that's what it is. But I feel like it would be cool to see the Burton, the Nolan, the 60s. The original Batmobile would be really cool to see. The animated series Batmobile. The new adventures of Batmobile, which is just pretty much the second half of Batman the Animated Series. But I feel like seeing those Batmobile skins would be amazing for us to see in this game. And when it comes down to, the exclusive Batman skin, I don't think they should do the 1960s one again. But what they did originally was they did in Arkham City the animated series Batman Batsuit. What I would like to see them do is the new Adventures of Batman Batsuit, where it looked pretty similar, but they didn't have the yellow oval Bat logo. They had the normal Bat logo, or a better explanation for that is think Justice League Batman, right? The cartoon Justice League Batman. It was pretty similar to that, but of course the art style was a little different from those two shows. But just kind of picture that skin. That skin would be kind of cool to have. Justice Lord's Batman skin would be amazing. And I feel like I know it's not a Batman skin, but I feel like it would be kind of cool with how dark and gritty this game is kind of seeing from the torture sequences and all that. Owlman. Make Owlman a skin, please. He hasn't been introduced into the games yet. And, he's kind of like the reverse Batman. So it would be kind of cool to see, reverse Batman being Owlman, in this kind of weird and twisted, version of the Batman that, that Arkham fans are not really used to, right? This game, you saw it, right, when I listed why Batman Arkham Knight is rated M. There's torture sequences, right? There's a lot of brutality in it. Whether the developers want to admit that or not, there is a lot of brutality in it, and I feel like Owlman would fit as a skin in that game. Will we get repeat skins? I don't think so. I think Batman over 75 years should have a lot of other skins. And, will we be getting more Green Lantern, or not Green Lantern skins, but more Lantern Ring skins? Probably, since I think Batman has worn all of them. So maybe it would be kind of cool if they went all out on the DLC for this game, since it is their last one. So maybe any Lantern skin that we do not have. Okay, maybe that shouldn't be said. But most of the Lantern skins that we have left, maybe that's a whole pack. I feel like it would be kind of cool if we got all the old skins back to play around with, since I love the Batman Beyond skin, and I wouldn't mind roaming around in Gotham as Batman Beyond. I feel like that would be amazing. You know, even like some different, storyline skins from, previous games. And I'd like to start seeing, skins from, the films and things like that. And I feel like this game, the DLC is going to be amazing. If Nightwing and Robin and aren't in the game, and if Stephanie Brown, Batgirl, exists in this universe, I would love to see a play as the Batgirl type skin or DLC. I know they've already announced the Harley challenge maps. Red Hood's getting his own challenge maps. So, it may be kind of hard to fit in 3 more characters. If we could get the rest of the Bat family, right? Or at least one variant of the Bat family in for the DLC. So, that would be Nightwing, Batgirl, and Robin, right? If we could get those last 3 along with Harley, along with Red Hood, then I feel like I would have so much fun and would be so pleased with the Batman DLC for the challenge maps. And heck, if you got the free roam as those guys, that would be amazingly cool. But if we get more like villain type player maps, like I didn't like Deathstroke, to be quite honest, in Arkham Origins. I get it, Arkham Origins is separate, but it does take a little bit of Arkham Knight does take influence from Arkham Origins because of the Firefly skin that we saw in the last video. We saw Firefly looks exactly the same, but I do think that we should think about, or at least the developers should think about putting the rest of the Bat family into the game, or at least Batgirl. We haven't seen Batgirl at all in this series, and it would be kind of cool to see what gadgets she has, what makes her different from Batman. Maybe she's a little quicker, kind of fits that Catwoman play style, but has cooler gadgets. Maybe she has some of the stuff from Injustice. The Injustice skin would be a cool costume for her to have, and I feel like with the Harley challenge map, we'll get a Injustice Harley skin as well. I do think that when it comes to the DLC for this game, it's going to look pretty cool, and it's going to play really nicely. I do hope that they bring in more characters than just Red Hood and Harley Quinn, since I was disappointed in Arkham Origins. And I hope that they bring in more characters. I hope that we get to see the film costumes of everything. And yeah, I really have high hopes for this game. I don't have PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. I do have a PC, but Red's PC is better than mine, so if I do end up getting it for PC, I'll have to play it on his. But I do really think that this game is going to be great. With the DLC support that I'm seeing right now, it's already going to be better than Arkham Origins. Knock on wood. So thank you guys just for watching my little rant here on how cool these skins are going to be. And for those who don't know, I think it's June 2nd, right? It says that you'll be getting the special edition stuff like that if you order it. I think that's the release date on the game. I can't remember what it is. I'm just way too excited for it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Again, like I said in the beginning, like if you liked, sympathy like if you disliked, favorites, comments, share it. I gotta get going. So thank you guys for watching once again, and stay frosty.